Hi, welcome to Biz Passion and Voice. We have Kimberly Day today. She's going to help us learn how to write and grow rich. Kim is an award winning author of Write and Grow Rich: How to Use a Book to Supersize Your Brand, Your Business, and Your Bank Account. Kim helps coaches, consultants, and service based entrepreneurs overcome their daily struggle of finding their next client, stand out from the crowd in their industry, and increase visibility, credibility, and authority by publishing a book. So, this is exciting because I don't really know anybody who doesn't think they could possibly become an author one day. One
One day.
day.
Yeah, one day. Someday in the future. Right?
One day I'll
I have
have a
people
book.
like, I've been wanting to write a book for years. This is a very common expression.
Yeah, and it takes a while too, especially if you're trying to do it alone, right? Like it takes a lot to get yourself together to sit down and write something that's so future tense. Like people will read it in
Yeah.
the future, people will
Yeah.
get it in the future.
And we were just talking about that, right? In the green room before coming on. It's like, it's so much better together. Why does everybody try to do everything all alone when you could just, you know, do it together?
It's funner. That's what I said.
It's
I like
funner,
listening back
totally
more.
funner.
Yes. So, where do people usually find themselves before they actually meet you and like decide to like not do it alone? What do they look like they're doing just before they get to fast track on with you?
Well, there is the whole like, oh my God, you help people write a book. I've been wanting to write a book for years. That's a big one. I hear that one a lot. I literally one of the gals in my last program, her name is Susan May. She had had a book inside of her for 14 years, she told
Oh
me.
my gosh.
And she just became a published author this year. So she finally
Oh.
realized her dream. And like actually I have pictures on my social media of us meeting and she gave me a signed copy of her book. And there's nothing that feels better than helping someone get that thing ticked off their goal or their dream or their bucket list. And for a lot of people, writing a book is a bucket list thing. They feel like it's unachievable, but I'm here to tell you it can happen fast and it can happen easy if you know what you're doing and you have a track to run on.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, I love it because when we get support from people who know what they're talking about, who've done it themselves, who've walked the path, then we really do. We shorten our time on figuring it out and doing it in the best way, really, too, because you
Yes.
learn a lot of things when
Hmm.
you've been there, done that. I
Yeah.
I suspect that it doesn't. It's not by accident that your book was award winning, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And if you're watching this, it's not by accident that you're here watching this either. I think everything happens for a reason. And I know Marie Forleo says that everything is figure outable, right? And
Yes, I
it's
love Marie
true. We
Forleo.
could go on Google and you could Google how to write and publish a book, and you're going to find a million and one articles and people that can help you and step by step guides and things online everywhere. But that you just said it, that the fast track is going alongside somebody who's already done it. And I mean, that's how you and I met, right? We met
Yeah.
in our own coaching program. So we're trying to build an 8-figure business. So what did we do? We went out and hired somebody who's already running an 8-figure business to show us how to shortcut the steps to get there. And I mean, this
Exactly.
is what all successful people do. They go and find a mentor, and they follow a proven system of somebody who's gone before them, and success leaves clues. So I don't know. I'm always looking for the clues myself.
Yes, I
Yeah.
like shortcuts, just so
Yes,
everybody knows.
you
I
do.
do like shortcuts, but I like them to be the best as well. I like high quality results as
Yes.
well. But
Yeah.
I if I can find somebody who's done it and done it well in a way that I find laudable, then I'm gonna go see what they're doing, you
Yeah.
know?
And I mean, you talk
Awesome.
about helping people use their voice to amplify their message and their impact and their results. And really, I mean, a book is the same. It's using your voice, but just the written version of it, right? It's still
Yeah.
about, finding that authentic you and being able to express your voice through words to, so people know about your passion and know that you're the expert and know that you can help them get the results that they're looking for. Because quite frankly, writing a book isn't all about you. Writing my book wasn't all about me being an author. It's about me being able to share with somebody a way that they can get better and more transformational results, because all your reader cares about is that you can help them. It's the famous radio station, WIIFM, what's in it for me? And if you can tell your reader what's in it for them, then that book just jumps off the page, or off the shelf rather, into their hands. And they go, oh my goodness, you are the person I want to work with. So it's pretty magical.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And when you're working with something like a creative outlet, like like voicing or writing, you really are discovering a lot about yourself in the process, and you're going to actually gain a ton of tools that can apply outside of that. In your process of becoming a writer and learning what you know now, like what would you say is the most, you know, the hardest part of basically sharing who you are, because it's your words, it's your ideas, it's your passion that you put into a book, and it's scary. Like,
Yeah.
how did that go for you?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty common thing. Have you ever, like, if you're listening and think about this, I don't know if you've got comments or whatnot, but have you ever felt like scared to do something? Because it's like, oh my gosh, you're putting yourself out there, right? There's this level of vulnerability, of what if nobody likes me? What if people won't read it or buy it? What if they make fun of me? I get a lot of people that feel like they have imposter syndrome. Oh my gosh, there was a gentleman in one of my last classes. Um, Arnold, he's such an amazing guy. He's actually publishing in 3 days, which is amazing. But he was like, I don't know if I'm credible enough to write the book, is what he said to me. He'd been doing his business for
Yeah,
20 years. How do you still, after 20 years, think you're not credible enough to put it into a book? I don't know. But for a lot
it's
of people,
amazing.
there's that imposter syndrome. For me, I call that my itty bitty shitty committee. Like, who can resonate with the little voices in their head going, you're not good enough. Who
Oh
are you
my
to write
God,
a
the
book? You
criticism
shouldn't be talking about
voices.
that. I just tell them buzz off. And when you're working with other people, like we have a coach and everything else, they become your cheerleading team to help you kind of minimize the itty bitty shitty committee and turn them into more of a pep squad, right? Your greatest fan, your
Yes.
cheerleader, to help move you along towards your goal. So
Yeah, that is my favorite part. It's just having the support there when you
yeah,
need it. When you're not quite able to move forward on your own, and you're just like confusing yourself and doubting yourself and all
yeah,
of those things. Like
yeah,
knowing where to go to get that thing done is like
yeah,
priceless. It's
yeah,
priceless.
yeah.
So yes, yes. So you're like you're a good at silencing the inner critic. You're like, shut up.
But my inner critic still happens all the
Yeah.
time. I don't think you
Yeah.
ever get rid of your inner critic. I think that the more successful you get, and every level leads you to another level of different types of critics. So I know when the critics are happening, it usually is, for me, it's a good sign, because I know it means I'm approaching another level where I'm going to have a breakthrough, right?
Beautiful.
When you feeling fear, to me, that's a place where I'm approaching the end of my comfort zone. And it might be a little bit cliche, but all good things happen
Yeah.
on the other side of fear and on the other side of your comfort zone. So I embrace fear, and I've learned to just say, okay, if I'm feeling fear, it's that kind of pit, that feeling in your tummy, you feel a little bit of anxiety and nervousness.
Yes.
Reframe it, because guess what? That same exact feeling you get in your tummy when you first fall in love, we call it the
Yeah.
butterflies.
Yes.
It manifests itself in the exact same way. We just either label it as something good, butterflies, or we label it as something bad, fear or anxiety. So decide which label you're going to put on it and go for it.
Yes.
Go
Yes.
towards your dreams and goals.
And if it's because that's where the critic part comes in, right? That's where it's like,
Yep.
okay, well, that feeling must mean that you're not ready yet. You can't do this. You'll never get this done. Like, that's where those sentences start coming from, right? And
But
so
it
if
isn't.
we, but it's not. It's actually the exact opposite. It's the energy you have for the thing that you're going to do
And it
next.
means you're right on the verge of a breakthrough. It's
Yes.
amazing. Yeah.
Yes, yes, you're so on board. I'm totally with that. Yes. Yes. So you decided, what made you decide, what was your goal on the other side of like becoming an author? Like what for you specifically, where you're like, I just want to write, or what made you decide to like figure out the fear thing and do it anyways?
Yeah, that's a great, great question. And what most people don't know, but you're going to learn right now, is that for 13 years, I was a financial advisor and I was struggling. I used to call it the income roller coaster. You know, when you have as an entrepreneur, when you have that really great month where you get a bunch of clients and then all of a sudden you have no clients and you're like, holy, whoa, like where's my next mortgage payment coming from, or car payment, or freaking maybe my next meal. Sometimes it was like, oh, my credit card's maxed out. I don't even know where I'm getting my next dollar from. And
Yes.
I was just I was tired of that feeling of like feast or famine, the up and down of the income roller coaster, I call it. And so I was always looking for better strategies. I thought it was not having enough clients that was the problem. So I went out in search of better marketing strategies to attract better clients into my business. And I was at an event where somebody talked about writing a book. And I thought to myself, as I was listening to him talk, I was thinking about all of the people that I followed in my industry, like the gurus, the mentors that I looked up to. So Manif, I'm sure you've got some in your who you look up to in your industry, like your mentors who've,
For
molded who
sure.
you've become. And if you're watching right now, think about somebody, get a picture in your mind of one person that you follow in your industry who's a bit of a guru or a mentor that you look up to. And I bet you they're also a published author. So
Yeah.
for me, I was in the world of finance, right? So I was looking up to in the United States, it was Susie Orman, Robert Kiyosaki, David Bach. These were big names that I was always following and seeing what they were on track to do because they were the leaders in the field.
Yeah.
And in Canada, it was David Chilton, the wealthy barber, and Gail Vaz Oxlade, who not only turned her business into a book and into then a TV show on Home and Garden TV called Till Debt Do Us Part, where she would help couples struggling with money. One's a saver, one's a spender. And she made a light and airy thing out of like figuring out your finances. And
Right. Which can be super
all of them
tough
were
in
published
relationships.
authors, most of them multi-published authors. So
Wow.
I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this made sense to me. So I set out to write that very first book, which was actually called The Financial Fitness Playbook, the ultimate
Oh, I
guide to
love
winning the
it.
money game.
I
And I had a
love
bigger
it.
plan. I was going to actually write a series of books. So I was going to, you and I both know, like the clearer you are with who you want to talk to and who your message is for, the better you will be at attracting them. So this was my generic book, but I had planned to do from the ultimate guide to winning the money game. I planned to do the baby boomers guide to winning the money game, the millennials guide to winning the money game, the single parents guide, the couples guide, the entrepreneurs guide. And I was going to niche down into each of those target markets because when you micro niche, you build momentum because people go, like if you write the book on the single parent's guide to winning the money game, if you're a single parent, you go, oh, that's me.
Yeah.
Like, give me that book. That book is specifically for me. This book is for like somebody generic, right? But if you can get somebody raising their hand going, she is talking to me, that's when the marketing magic happens. And so
Yes. That's so valuable,
getting
guys.
clear with who you want to talk to is really
Yeah.
important. And what it did for me in my business is I was able to double my income in less than 12 months. And in fact, those results were so transformationally profound to me because it stopped the income roller coaster from happening that I decided, okay, I'm going to switch from helping people with their personal finances to helping them have better results with their business finances by having better strategies and tools to attract clients. And I made a huge, big shift.
Yes.
And that's when Write and Grow Rich was born, my next book,
Yay.
which is also my program, where I help people use that same strategy to grow a more profitable business. And I mean, I know you're all about finding your passion and having amplifying impact and doing all of this stuff. So if you're making more money, guess what that means? It means you're helping more people,
Yes.
right? So I'm passionate
Totally.
about getting people to put their oxygen mask on first, get your business in order so it's attracting good clients. And by doing that, you can have a way bigger impact in the world and help way more people.
I love it. It's so
Yeah.
amazing.
Yep.
Yes. Yes. Like we all have those mentors. We all have those people that are just like, oh, that is the person that's telling me how to do that thing over there, right?
Yep.
And yes, every time when I think of each name, each one of them has at least one book.
You
At
bet.
least.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Amazing.
Yes.
So, so I love that because you already actually answered the next question because the next thing is really like, well, how do you know? Like, how do you know like your business like part of the plan, like part of how people get served in the world, you know? And that's just a beautiful statement that you're saying that,
Yep.
you know, if you have a business, like let it be in a frame that supports you regularly, that you feel like
Yeah.
it's like solid, right?
Nobody goes into
And
business thinking, oh, I want to be broke and I want to be always struggling for money and I want to be on this, like, not knowing where my next client is coming from. Nobody goes into business to do that. We go into business because we're passionate about something that we do. And then
yes,
we didn't go to marketing school though, or business school, right? So being able to implement strategies like this just helps take your business to a better level and gives you the tools and strategies to be on par so you can help more people.
yes, yes. So you're so busy focusing on what you're talented at, what
Yep.
you're great at, that you might have missed a couple of the other things that
Yeah.
people have put together. So you go get the person who knows, right?
But there's resources for that, right?
There's
So
resources for
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yes, awesome. So I really want to talk about your challenge because I think it's going to be incredible. I'm going by the guys, and you know, I
Yay.
people who know me know that I don't support anything that I don't
Hmm.
fully believe in or would do myself, right?
Right. Absolutely.
And so yeah, so I'm literally telling you guys I will be at the challenge
Yeah.
that Kimberly is having
Yeah.
next week
Hmm.
because she's just so dynamic and she knows what she's talking about, and you can tell she has a heart for what she does and who
Yeah.
she does it for. Can you tell us a little bit about, give us a sneak peek, just a like sneak peek about
Yeah.
what you're doing?
And so technically that it is a Facebook challenge, but quite frankly, who needs any more challenges in their life right now, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
For
I
that
didn't think
reason
of
and that
that.
reason alone, we're doing next week is actually the Become a Best-Selling Author Adventure, because nobody wants
Adventure.
more challenges in their life, but everybody loves a good adventure, and it's always more fun with friends. So I invite you to come along and bring a friend if you want to. If you think that there's somebody on your list who should write a book or has dreams of writing a book, then bring them along. And what it is in a nutshell, it's a 5-day free video training series. It starts on Monday, and we're going to deep dive into who it is that you best serve. What's the problem you solve for them? What are those transformational results that they get or you help them achieve faster than they could use on their own by bridging the gap from where they are now to where they want to be with your program, service, workshop, with what it is, what your secret sauce is. We're going to deep dive into that. We're going to do other fun exercises. Like I'm going to help you lay out a 6-figure business blueprint around your book, because it's not about selling
Wow.
$10 books. It's about getting someone into your business and helping them through a result using your programs or services. So that's what you're using your book to market. And it all starts on Monday. It's completely free. And all you need to do to access this free training is hop into my Facebook group called From Zero to Marketing Hero. I'm happy to drop the link to that in the chat. It might be in the post that surrounds this live
It
as well.
is.
But
It's
you're
in the
welcome to hop on
description.
board and join us. I invite you to come along on this adventure. It's going to be fun and interactive, and worksheets and games and contests. And you are going to leave the end of the 5 days with a blueprint on how you can become a published author in 2021 and be ready to take your business to another level. So please join me.
Yes,
Yeah.
let's do this because we all have such amazing information that can really serve people, but we have to find a way to help them see that. We have to find a way to help them see us and what
Yeah.
we are about and what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yes. So, I have a normal question I ask, which is, how does voice help you do the work you do?
Oh my,
Right?
yeah.
Yes. And so if it helps you, like you can talk about talking or you can talk about your voicing in your work and your writing.
Well, I mean, they are one and the same, right? We just talked about
Yeah.
that. So really, they
Yeah.
truly are. Your voice comes across in your book in the written word. And I mean, if we want to talk about voice, we're doing it right here. So I use my book, the written word, to amplify my messaging by getting speaking engagements and going on podcasts and being interviewed on radio and TV and in people's Facebook groups. So you can use your book as a gate and a stepping stone for so many more opportunities where you'll get to use your voice and have your voice shine. So I hope that you say yes to the adventure, because you're not saying yes to me or to the adventure. What you're truly saying is yes to yourself and to your business and to the goals that you want to achieve and the big, massive impact that you want to make in the world. So please join me on the adventure.
Yes. Yes, so beautiful, so clear.
Yeah.
And whenever I meet somebody who's so aligned in what they say and what they offer, what they do, it makes me light up, because it just talks about the pure potential. Like when we can get aligned to what we're here for, and what we want to accomplish, then it just becomes super clear what your next steps are.
You bet.
So I bet if you're here, that you're hearing that this is the place to be. This is your next adventure, right?
Be there
And
or be
be
square.
there or be square.
I'm such a child, but I tell you, you won't have a boring adventure. That's for sure. You're going to get all my cliches, all my silliness, and you're going to move your business. You're going to move the needle in your business all at the same time. So why does business have to be
Yes.
hard? It can so be fun,
It doesn't have to be hard. It can
right?
be so fun,
So
exactly
much
what you
fun.
want to be doing.
You bet.
So, yes, let's do that together. Thank you so much, Kimberly. Thanks for
Thank
coming in
you. And I
today.
can't wait to see you next week on the adventure.
Oh, I'm so there. I'm so
Thanks for
there.
having me. Thanks for listening.
Thanks. Thank you guys. Thanks for listening.